Unit 1. Who am I? In this unit, we are going to learn how to talk about ourselves and others. On the first page, we can see a Maasai woman showing her ink-marked thumb after participating in the election. Election is an event in which people choose their leaders. Let's read the caption. A Maasai woman. Maasai is a group of people who live in Kenya. A Maasai woman presents her ink-marked thumb after registering to vote in the general election in Kajiado County, Kenya. Now, let's start with the reading section of the unit. Exercise A. Write the correct free time activities under the pictures. In the yellow box, we can see different activities. We have to write the name of the activity under each picture. Playing football, photography, painting, playing cricket, playing in a band, swimming. Number 1. What's the activity in number 1? Yes, it's painting. Number 2, photography. Number 3, playing in a band. What is a band? A band is a group of musicians who play modern music together. Picture number 4. What's the activity? It's swimming. Number 5. What's the activity in number 5? Playing football. Number 6. Playing cricket. What is cricket? Cricket is a sport in which two teams of 11 players try to score points by hitting a ball with a bat. Now, let's move to the next exercise. Exercise C. Read Jack's online profile and write in the correct headings. Then take turns to tell your partner about Jack. First, what is an online profile? An online profile is a list of some of your personal details, such as your name, your age, your city, your country, and interests or hobbies. Let's look at the yellow box and all the headings listed in it. Hobbies or activities, age, country, dream, pets, name. Now, look at the online profile. Number 1. What do we have in number 1? Yes, it's a name. Jack Wilson, name. Number 2. 13 is the age. Next, number 3, New Zealand. It's the country, correct. Number 4, 2 fish, Tom and Harry. So what are these? They are the pets. Number 5, playing in a band, watching online videos. What are these? Great. They are the hobbies or the activities that Jack does. To travel around the world. What is this piece of information? Excellent. It's Jack's dream. Now, let's move to the next exercise. Exercise D. Quickly read the text below. What information from the headings in exercise C does it give about the girl? Lucky Mbele. Before reading the text, let's go through the word focus box and read the words and their meanings one by one. Nature. What is nature? Nature is animals, plants, rocks, mountains. Basically, everything you can see outside your home is called nature. Forest. What is forest? A large area of land with trees and plants. You can find animals too. Hang out together. Hang out means to meet friends somewhere to talk or do things together. Street market. It's a place outside where people can buy and sell things. Souvenir. Souvenir, it's some things that you buy to help you remember a holiday. You can also gift someone using a souvenir. Lucky Embley. Lucky Embley is a 10-year-old high school student. She lives in Cape Town in South Africa. She's brilliant at drawing and painting, and her dream is to be a well-known artist in the future. She loves nature, and her paintings of the sea and the forest are incredible. Lucky has some close friends. When she's not busy with her art, she spends time with her friends after school and at the weekend. We go to the beach in the summer and we swim. We love sport. In the winter, we play football and basketball. We also play cricket. Cricket is a popular sport in South Africa, England, Australia, New Zealand, and India, but I don't think people play it a lot of European countries. My friends and I also like the cinema, and we go to cafes too, just to hang out together. But I always make sure that I have time for my paintings. Lucky sells her paintings in crowded market. Tourists buy them because the paintings are about South Africa, and they are good souvenirs to have from their holiday. One day when I'm famous, I want to see my paintings in galleries all around the world. As you see in this text, we can find information about the girl's name, age, country, hobbies, and dream. So these are all the headings in exercise C that we can see in this text. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Exercise E. Read the exam close-up. Write keywords in your notebooks for each paragraph in the text. Use ideas from the profile in C. Before reading the exam close-up, I want to remind you of the importance of this box. The exam close-up box gives us tips to help us with the exam questions. In today's exam close-up, we have information and tips about reading for main ideas. First point, it's easier to understand the text if you find the most important information. Second point, read each paragraph for main ideas. Third point, write keywords next to each paragraph to help you remember. So, whenever you are reading a text, try to write the keywords next to each paragraph. This way will help us to answer the questions on the text correctly and easily. Now, let's go back to the text to find keywords in each paragraph. In the first paragraph, we can find information about the girl's name, age, town, country, hobbies, and dream. In the second paragraph, we can find keywords and information about the girl's friends, free time activities, and sports. In the third paragraph, we can find information about selling paintings and souvenirs, tourists. All these keywords were mentioned in the third paragraph. Now, let's move to the exam task.
Exercise F. Now complete the exam task. Use your keywords to help you answer the question. Read the article about a young girl. Are sentences 1 through 8 right or wrong? If there is not enough information to answer right or wrong, choose doesn't say. Number 1. Lucky's hobby is art. True. Write A in the box. A means right. Number 2. Lucky is a good student at school. Is it mentioned in the text that Lucky is a good student? There is no information about this part, so write C in the box, which means doesn't say. The text doesn't say. Number 3. Lucky draws and paints her dreams. Is this correct? Wrong. Write B in the box. Number 4. Lucky does many things with her friends. True. Write A in the box. Number 5. In summer, Lucky plays football. Wrong. Write B in the box. Number 6. People in Europe don't watch cricket. Is it mentioned in the text whether people like or don't like cricket? We don't know, so write C in the box. Number 7. Lucky's paintings are in souvenir shops. Wrong. Write B in the box. Number 8. Tourists pay a lot of money for Lucky's painting. Is it mentioned in the text? I don't think so. So we should write C in the box. Now let's move to the next exercise. Exercise G. These words are underlined in the text. Find them and then circle the correct meaning. Number 1. Brilliant. Can you find brilliant in the text? It's in the third line. She is brilliant at drawing and painting, and her dream is to be a well-known artist in the future. So what does brilliant mean? She is brilliant at drawing. Yes, it means excellent. Number 2. Number 2 is in the fourth line in the text. She is brilliant at drawing and painting, and her dream is to be a well-known artist in the future. So well-known means, yes, famous. Number 3. Incredible. Incredible is the last line in the first paragraph. She loves nature, and her paintings of the sea and the forest are incredible. Incredible means amazing. Number 4. Clothes. It's in the first line in the second paragraph. Lucky has some close friends. Close means good. Yes. Number 5. Popular. We also play cricket. Cricket is a popular sport in South Africa, England, Australia, New Zealand, and India. So popular means well liked. Number 6. Crowded. Lucky sells her paintings in crowded street markets. Crowded means full of people, busy. That's all for the reading lesson. Now let's move on to our next part of the lesson. Vocabulary. In English we have two kinds of numerals. We have cardinal numbers and ordinal numbers. Cardinal number is a number that says how many of something there are, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are called cardinal numbers. On the other hand, ordinal numbers tell us the order or position of something in a list, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. To create or to write ordinal numbers, we have to add th to the cardinal number. But still, we have to make some changes to the cardinal numbers before adding th to them to make them ordinal numbers. This rule applies to all numbers except 1 becomes first, 2 becomes second, 3 becomes third. Here is a list of the cardinal and ordinal numbers. Pay attention to the difference between the spelling in the cardinal and ordinal numbers. And as we said earlier, to make an ordinal number, you add th to the cardinal number and make some changes, except for first, second, and third. This also applies, or this also happens when ordinals end in these numbers, like 21 becomes 21st, 22 becomes 22nd, 23 becomes 23rd. When do we use ordinal numbers? 1. We use ordinal numbers to give dates. For example, her birthday is on the 29th of May. Number 2. Show the order or position of something in a sequence, like I came third in the race. Number 3. We use also ordinal numbers to talk about the number of floors in a building. I live on the second floor. Number 4. We use ordinal numbers to talk about the total number of years we are celebrating. Example, we had a huge party for his 22nd birthday. Number 5. We use ordinal numbers to express the century that something happened. Shakespeare was born in the 16th century. Number 6. We use ordinal numbers to say the names of kings and queens, like Henry VIII. Now, before moving on to the exercises on the vocabulary from the student book, let's refresh our memory of the names of countries, nationalities, languages. In Canada, people are called Canadians, and they speak English and French. In China, people are Chinese. They speak Mandarin. Sometimes we say Mandarin Chinese. In Germany, people are German. They speak German. In Portugal, they are Portuguese, and they speak Portuguese. In Argentina, people are Argentinian, and they speak Spanish. In Belgium, people are Belgian, and they speak Dutch, French, and German. In Denmark, people are Dane or Danish, and they speak Danish. In Australia, people are Australian. They speak English. In the United States of America, people are American. They speak English. In Mexico, people are Mexican. They speak Spanish. In Japan, people are Japanese. They speak Japanese. In France, people are French. They speak French. In Greece, people are Greek. They speak Greek. In Italy, people are Italian. They speak Italian. In Brazil, people are Brazilian. They speak Portuguese. In the United Kingdom, people are British. They speak English. In Spain, people are Spanish. They speak Castilian Spanish or Spanish. In Angola, people are Angolan, and they speak Portuguese. Now, let's refresh our memory of the month of the year. As you see, the months of the year are written with their short form. When writing dates, it's preferable to use the short form. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Vocabulary. Exercise A. Write the numbers as words in each gap. Number 1. Number 1 is done. 5 plus or and 7 is 12. Number 2. What do you think? 8 and 16 is 24. Remember, here we are not saying the order of things. Here we are saying the number, how many. Okay. Number 3. 9 and 29 is 38. Good job. Number 4. 19 and 26 is 45. Excellent. Number 5. 21 and 38 is 59. Good job. Number 6. 33 and 44 is 77. Yes. Number 7. 11 and 85 is 96. Number 8. 43 and 57 is 100. Good job. Now let's move on to the next exercise, exercise B. Write the dates of the national holidays for 10 European countries. As we mentioned earlier, when we write dates, we should use the ordinal number. Okay? First one is done. Date, the 2nd of June. The country is Italy. Number 2. What's the date in number 2? Yes, we should write that before the number and then of before the month. It's the 25th of March. Number 3. The 12th of October. Here we had to change the cardinal number before adding th to make it an ordinal number. We omit VE and put F, then added th. Number 4. The 14th of July. Number 5. The 15th of February. Number 6. The 21st of September. Number 7. The 1st of December. Number 8. The 3rd of May. Number 9. The 1st of August. Number 10. The 28th of November. Exercise C. Write the 12th month of the year from first to last in your notebooks. Which months are not in exercise B? If you go back to exercise B, you will find that January and April are not in exercise B. Now let's move on to exercise D. Circle the correct word. Number 1. It's in Greece or Greek. Here we have a preposition of place, in. So we should write the name of the place, which is Greece. It's in Greece. It's a Greece or Greek island. Island is a noun, and before nouns we put the adjective. So it should be, it's a Greek island. Number 2. It's from Chinese or China. From is a preposition of place, so we should write the name of the place, which is China. It's a Chinese or China dragon. Dragon is a noun. Before nouns we write adjective. So the answer will be, it's a Chinese dragon. Number 3. It's from Italian or Italy. It's from Italy. It's Italian or Italy spaghetti. Before nouns we write adjective, so it's Italian spaghetti. Number 4. She's from Spanish or Spain. She's from Spain. Excellent. She's a Spanish or Spain dancer. Dancer is a noun. Before nouns we write the adjective. So she's a Spanish dancer. Number 5. It's in France or French. Yes, it's in France. It's a France or French symbol. It's a French symbol. Correct. Number 6. He's from England or English. From is a preposition of place. We should write the name of the place. England is the answer. He's from England. He's an England or English bulldog. Before nouns we write the adjective. So the answer is, he's an English bulldog. Number 7. It's from Swiss or Switzerland. What is the name of the place? Switzerland. It's a country. So it's from Switzerland. It's a Swiss or Switzerland cuckoo clock. The adjective is Swiss. So it's a Swiss cuckoo clock. Before nouns we write the adjective. Number 8. They're in Dutch or the Netherlands. They're in the Netherlands. Correct. They're Dutch or the Netherlands tulips. They're Dutch tulips. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Exercise E. Can you think of any other nationality adjectives? In the last exercises, we have mentioned some nationalities. There are many others. Can you think of any of them? Excellent. Egyptian, American, Indian, Moroccan, Algerian, and there are many others that you can look them up in the dictionary and write them down in your textbook. Now let's move on to exercise F. Complete 1 through 4 with words from below that have the same meaning. Then circle the correct words in 5 and 6. Dad, grandma, mom, granny, daddy, grandpa, granddad, mommy. Number 1. Grandmother. What are the synonyms of grandmother? I can hear some of you answering correctly. Excellent. Grandma and granny. Number 2. Grandfather. What are the synonyms of grandfather? Or what are the words that have the same meaning as grandfather? Great, grandpa, and granddad. Number 3. Mother. What are the synonyms of mother? Mom or mommy. Number 4. Father. What are the other words that have the same meaning as father? Excellent. Dad or daddy. Number 5. Remember, in number 5 and 6 you have to circle the correct word. The people in 1 and 2 are parents or grandparents? Great, they are grandparents. Number 6, the people in 3 and 4 are parents. Good job. Now, exercise G. Complete the text with these words: brother, family, grandchildren, granddaughter, married, sister, surname, twins. My family. Hi, I am Elsa. I'm 14 years old and I live in England. This is a photo of my, what do you think? Family. Excellent. I'm not in the photo because I'm the photographer. My mom's name is Carol and she's 37 years old. She's with Becky. Becky is my, what do you think? As you see in the picture, it's a girl. So Becky is my sister, correct? And she's 10 years old. Next to them is my dad, Kevin. He's 38 years old and he's with our dog Sam. My little Oscar is with my grandparents. So as you see, there is a little boy. So my little what? My little brother. Excellent. My little brother Oscar is what? With grandparents, John and Kathleen. They're my dad's parents. They have 5 altogether. Me, Becky, Oscar, and 2 cousins in Australia, Jenny and Jessica Spano. So they have 5 what? Me, Becky, if they are her grandparents. So they have 5 grandchildren. Great job. They're 16. So we have 2 children and they are the same age. And they are brothers. So, sorry, they are sisters. Jenny and Jessica, they are sisters. So number 5, do we have sisters here in the yellow box? No. But we have another word which is twins. Twins means 2 brothers or 2 sisters or a brother and a sister that were born on the same day. So they're twins and they're 16. Their dad is from Italy, so they're Spano. So Spano is what? Spano is a name. Do we have a name in the yellow box? We have surname. What does it mean? Surname is the name of the family. So their dad is from Italy, so their surname Spano. Spano is the name of the family. So their surname Spano is Italian. He is to my dad's sister. He is what? He is married to. Grandma and grandpa say I'm their favorite. They are her grandparents, so she is their granddaughter. Excellent. The grandma and the grandpa say I'm their favorite granddaughter. But I think they say the same thing to all of their grandchildren. Exercise H. Read the exam close-up, then read the exam task and underline the topic in the instructions. In today's exam close-up, we are going to learn how to identify a set of words. Identify means to recognize or learn about. So, now we are going to learn how to recognize group of words. To know, are they colors, are they subjects, are they family members, are they languages, nationalities, numbers, what are they? So, first read the instructions and underline the vocabulary topic. First thing you have to do is to read the instructions. Instructions are the headings of the questions, the things that teach you or that inform you of what you have to do. Next, read the definitions of the words carefully. Read the definitions, read the meanings of the words carefully. Third, the answers you write should all link. Check them carefully against each other and the topic. Last point, check your spelling. Make sure that you write each word correctly. Now let's read the exam task to underline the topic in the instructions. Read the descriptions of some words for family members. What is the word for each one? The first letter is already there. There is one space for each letter in the word. So, what is the topic that is written in the instruction? Do you know? Exactly, it's family members. Family members is the topic that we are talking about here. Now, let's do the exam task. As I said earlier, that in this exam task you have to write the word for each meaning, and the first letter is already written, so you have to complete the word, and there is only one space for each letter. Number 1, this child is a boy. So, and it starts with an S. A word starts with an S. It has 3 letters. Son, excellent. Number 2, this child is a girl. Starts with a D. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. 7 other letters. Excellent. It's daughter. Number 3, a woman who is married to a man is called wife. Excellent. Number 4, a man who is married to a woman is called husband. Number 5, he is your mother's or father's brother. Who is he? Your uncle. Excellent. Number 6, she is your mother's or father's sister. So who is she? Aunt. Excellent. Number 7, this is your mother's sister's child. Your mother's sister's child. So who is he or who is she? Cousin. Excellent. Great job. Now let's move on to the grammar lesson in Unit 1. In Unit 1 we are going to refresh our memory of the present simple. First, when do we use the present simple? We use the present simple to talk about facts. Facts mean things that are always true, like the sun rises in the east or ice feels cold. We also use the present simple to talk about routines or habits. Like Sarah watches a movie every Thursday night, or we usually travel to Alexandria in summer. And we use the present simple to talk about permanent states. Permanent states means things that stay the same for a very long time, and it may change or it may not change, or it may stay the same. Like my daughter lives in England. I work as a teacher. After learning about the uses of the present simple, now let's move on to the form. How do we put the verb in the present simple? Okay, in the present simple we add SES or IES to the verb with he, she, it and the singular noun. So if you have a sentence and this sentence starts with he, she, it or a singular noun, you should add S or ES or IES to the following verb. When do we add S? When do we add ES? When do we add IES? We add ES to verbs ending with CH, SH, SS or O or X. Like teach becomes teaches with he or she or it or a singular noun. When the verb ends with a consonant and y, we drop the y and add ies, like study becomes studies. As for it, we added to all the other verbs like work, worked, play, played, and so on. With I, they, we, you, and the plural noun, we only use the base form of the verb, so we don't add anything to the verb with I, they, we, you, and the plural noun. And let's read the example. Mary exercises on the weekend. In this example, we added S to the verb. Why? Because the sentence starts with Mary. Mary is a singular noun. Number 2, I do my homework after school. In this example, the verb is do. We haven't added anything to do. Why? Because the sentence starts with I. Number 3, Tim washes his hair every day. Here we added es to the verb because the verb ends in sh and the sentence starts with a singular noun. To make negative in the present sentence, we put doesn't plus the base form of the verb with he, she, it, and the singular noun. For example, Nancy doesn't work in a hospital. As for the plural noun and I, they, we, you, we use those and the base form of the verb. For example, the girls don't like eating out. Question. To make a question in the present simple, we use the with he, she, it, or the singular noun. Then we use the base form of the verb. For example, does he arrive late for school? Yes, he does. As for I, they, we, you, and the plural noun, we use do and the base form of the verb after that. After the subject, we put the base form of the verb. For example, do you have a pet? No, I don't. The present simple is usually used with the adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency tells us how often something happens. They come before the main verb except for verb to be. If there is a verb to be in the sentence, the adverbs of frequency will come after verb to be. For example, Sue often arrives late for school. Often is an adverb of frequency. Jane, number 2, Jane is never late for school. Here, never comes after verb to be. Some of the common adverbs of frequency are always, starting from the most to the least, always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never. We can also use the present simple with the following time expressions. Every day, every week, every month, every Monday, once a week, twice a year, twice a day, and so on. For example, I brush my teeth twice a day. Okay, now let's start the exercises from the book. Present simple. Exercise A. Read the sentences and underline the verbs in the present simple. Number 1. My grandparents live in Cyprus. Live is the present simple, correct. Number 2. His mother drives to work. Drives, excellent. Number 3. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Freezes is the present simple verb. Number 4. I go to my photography class on Wednesday. Go is the verb in the present simple. Now let's move on to exercise B. Which sentences in A talk about facts? If we go back to exercise A, we will find that sentence number 1 and sentence number 3 talk about facts. So 1 and 3 talk about facts. B. Which sentences in A talk about routine activities? As we see, number 2 and number 4 talk about routine activities. His mother drives to work. I go to my photography class on Wednesday. Now let's move on to exercise C. Read this dialogue, underline the present simple verbs, then choose the correct words to complete the rule. Letter A. Do you walk to school? So where are the present simple verbs? Do and walk. Excellent. Letter B. No, I don't walk. My mom drives me. Where are the present simple verbs? Great job. Don't walk and drive. Letter A. Lucky you, my parents don't have a car. Where is the verb here? The present simple verb? It's don't have. Good job. Letter B. Oh, so do you walk or cycle to school? Do, walk, cycle. These are verbs in the present simple. Okay, now we use the auxiliary verb be or do in present simple questions and the negative. Which auxiliary verb do we use with the present simple? Yes, of course, we use do in the present simple questions and negative. Okay, now let's move on to the exercise D. Adverbs of frequency. We often use adverbs of frequency with the present simple. Underline the adverbs of frequency in these sentences. Number 1. People often get up late at weekends. Where is the adverb of frequency? It's often. And as you see, it comes before the main verb. Number 2. John never walks to school because he's lazy. Excellent. Never is the adverb of frequency. Number 3. The baby usually cries at night. Number 3. Usually is the adverb of frequency. Number 4. Rita sometimes drinks coffee but she prefers tea. Here, sometimes is the adverb of frequency, and again it comes before the main verb. Number 5. Maria's birthday is always in the holiday. Here, the adverb of frequency is always, and as you can see, it comes after verb to be. Number 6. I hardly ever see my Australian cousins. Here, the adverb of frequency is hardly ever, and it comes before the main verb, which is in this sentence C. Now let's move on to exercise E. Complete the rule about adverbs of frequency, then write the adverbs from D in the correct place on the line. Adverbs of frequency go. Where do they go? Before or after the main verb? Excellent. They go before main verb, but after the verb to be. Okay. If we say that we never do something, it means that it's 0%. Yeah, you never do it. It means you never do it. Okay, what comes next? If you do something, maybe 5%, it means hardly ever. Okay, next. After hardly ever, we can use sometimes. Sometimes means you do this thing 15% or 20%. After sometimes comes often. Often means you do this thing like 45%. Something like this, around this percentage. Then it's usually. Usually means you do this thing 70% or 75%. Then comes always. Always means 100%. You always do this thing. It means you do it every time at the same time, every week or every day or whenever you do it. You do this thing consistently. Okay, now let's move on to question words. Exercise F. Read the questions, underline the question words we often use with the present tense. Letter A. What time do the shops close today? Yes, where is the question word? It's what time. Letter B. When do the pupils have exams? Where is the question word? In letter B, it's when. Letter C. Where does the family spend their weekend? Where is the question word? Exactly, it's where. Letter D. Who do you often invite to your house? In letter D, it's who. Who is the question word. Letter E. What does your teacher do after school? So here we have to underline what. Letter F. Why do we learn English? Here it's why. Why is the question word. So as you can see, we use the present tense with almost all the question words. Now let's move on to exercise G. Which question word do we use for people? When we ask about people, we use who. Number 2, things or ideas. To ask about ideas or things, we use what. Number 3, a specific time, like 10:30 a.m. for example. To ask about time, we use what time. Number 4, a reason. To ask about a reason, we use why. Number 5, a general time. When we ask about general time, we use when. Number 6, a place. When we're asking about a place, we use where. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Letter H. Choose the correct answer. Number 1. Where your uncle come from? Where? What is the subject here? Your uncle, which is singular. So if we are having a singular subject, we use does to ask about singular subjects, or he, she. So where does your uncle come from? Number 2. The baby in his parents' room. Here the subject is the baby. So baby is singular. It should take the verb sleeps. The baby sleeps in his parents' room. Number 3. Is your birthday? To ask about general time, we use when. When is your birthday? Number 4. I a hat. What do you think? I never wear or wear never? We said earlier that we use adverbs of frequency before main verbs. So the correct answer is I never wear a hat. Number 5. Do some Canadians speak French? Can we say what do some Canadians speak French? It doesn't make sense to say what. So here we are going to use why, because we are asking about the reason Canadians speak French. So the answer would be, why do some Canadians speak French? Number 6. The bus late. Should we say arrives always or is always? We learned earlier that adverbs of frequency comes before the main verb and after verb to be. So here the correct answer will be is always. The bus is always late. Okay, now let's move on to exercise I. Read these answers and write the questions. So we have the answers and we should write questions on the answers provided. Number 1 is done. Let's read it quickly. Where do you usually go on holiday? I usually go on holiday to Italy. Number 2. I like pasta, pizza and ice cream. What do we have in the answer? In the answer we have things. And we learned earlier that to ask about things we use what. So here we are going to use what, and because we are asking about food, we can say what food. When we ask about color, we say what color. When we ask about kind, we use what kind, and so on. So here we will say what food. Next we put the auxiliary verb. In the present simple we use do or does. Do with I, they, we, you as plural noun. Does with he, she, it and singular noun. Here the subject would be you because I changes into you in the question. So we would use do. What food do you? Then the main verb in the infinitive form or in the base form. What food do you like best? Or what food do you like? Number 3. I usually go to bed at 11 p.m. So here we have specific time. To ask about specific time we use what time. So the question word would be what time. Next we put do or does. The subject here would be you. So to ask about you we use do. What time do you? And then we put the main verb. What time do you go to bed? Excellent, yes. Now let's move on to number 4. I walk to school. Okay, here in this sentence we have a means of transport, or the way we, here there is no means of transport, but there is the way we go to school, how you go to school. So to ask about the means or the way you do something, we use how. After how we put do because the subject is you, and then the main verb in the base form. How do you get to school, or how do you go to school? Number 5. I hang out with Luke at break time. So here we have two things. We can ask about the person, which is in this case Luke, or we can ask about time, which is break time. Now, because we have already used what time, let's now ask about the person, who is in this case Luke. To ask about people, we use who. After who, we use do or does, as we said earlier. And in this example, we are going to use you. Who do you hang out with at break time? Now, let's move on to the second part of the grammar, which is the present continuum. Present continuous. We use the present continuous for number 1, actions that are happening now at the time of the speaking. For example, I'm having an English lesson now. We also use the present simple to talk about actions that happen around the time of speaking. For example, we're having exams this week. So it's not happening now, but it's happening around the time of speaking, like in these days. We also use the present continuous to talk about temporary situations. Temporary, it means that they don't last for long. They only will last for a short time and then they will change or they will end. I'm currently working at a school. When I say I'm currently working at the school, it means that in the future or after some time, I'm going to work at another place. 4. What happens to the verb in the present continuous? In the present continuous, as we know, like in any other tense, if it's a positive sentence, we start with the subject. Then we put verb to be in the present. Verb to be in the present consists of am, is, are. After that, we put the verb with an ing at the end. Let's read the examples provided here. I'm working. He, she, it is working. They, we, you are working. Okay, now let's move on to the negative sentence. To make a negative sentence, we, as always, we start with the subject because it's a sentence. Then we use am, is, are. But in this case, we will have to add not because it's a negative sentence. Then we will put the main verb with an ing at the end. Example, I'm not working. He, she, it is not working, or we can say isn't. They, we, you are not working, or they, we, you aren't working. As for the question, as we know, we start with, if it's a yes-no question, we start with the verb to be in the present, am, is, are. Next comes the subject. After that, we put the main verb with the ing. For example, is he working? Yes, he is. Are they working? No, they aren't. Now, when we are talking about the present continuous, there are sometimes expressions that usually comes with it. At the moment, now, right now, look, listen, for the time being, at present, these days, this morning, this week, this month. These time expressions can come with the present continuous. For example, look, the bus is coming. We're working at the moment, or we're working now. Note, we don't use the present continuous with the stated verbs. What are the stated verbs? Stated verbs like know, believe, think, understand, love, like. Stated verbs don't involve action. Unlike action verbs like play, work, eat, watch, wash, and so on. Stated verbs, as we said earlier, they don't include action or they don't include movement. So they express abstract ideas like understanding something that I can't see, knowing, intensity, knowing, believing, and so on. So how can we express the same meaning if I can't use these verbs in the present continuous tense? Actually, we use the present simple instead of the present continuous with the stated verb, and it still gives the same meaning we want to illustrate with the present continuous. So, you don't say I'm understanding if your teacher is explaining something to you and you want to emphasize or to say that you understand what's being said. You don't say I'm understanding. although you are talking about something happening now, but because understand is a stative verb, you can't put it in the present continuous. You have to use the present simple to give the same meaning as the present continuous. So you say, I understand. Okay, now let's put what we have learned about the present continuous into practice. Exercise J. Read these present continuous sentences, then choose the correct words to complete the rule. I'm studying English. My teacher is helping me. My friend is sitting next to me. My classmates are listening to me. They aren't fighting. We use the present continuous to describe actions that are happening soon or now. What do you think? Soon means after a short time or in the near future. So what do we use with the present continuous? Or what does the present continuous describe? Excellent. It describes actions that are happening now. We form the present continuous with the verb be or do and the infinitive or ing form. What do you think? Good job. We form the present continuous with the verb be and the ing form. Now let's move on to exercise K. Read these sentences and underline any examples of the present continuous. Number 1. We're English, but we're living in Dubai until next September. Where is the present continuous here? Are living. Excellent. Number 2. We're lying next to our swimming pool. We're reading books and listening to music. In number 2, the present continuous verbs are lying, are reading, listening. Number 3. My dad is working in Dubai for a year. Where is the present continuous verb here? Great job. It is working. Number 4. We're studying Arabic every day. Where is the present continuous verb? It's are studying. Number 5. My parents are making dinner in the kitchen right now. What is the present continuous verb here? It's are working. Excellent. Okay, now let's move on to exercise N. Match the sentences in K with uses A through C. Letter A. An action happening at the time of speaking. If we go back to exercise K, we will find that number 2 expresses an action happening at the time of speaking, because we said we're lying next to our swimming pool, we're reading books and listening to music. So it's something happening at the time of speaking. What else? Excellent. Also number 5 expresses an action happening at the time of speaking. As you see, it has right now at the end. Letter B, an action happening around the time of speaking. So it's not happening now, but it's happening around the time of speaking. Number 4 expresses an action happening around the time of speaking. We're studying Arabic every day, so it doesn't happen now, but it's not happening now, sorry. It's happening around the time of speaking. Letter C, a temporary situation. Number 1, we're English but we're living in Dubai until next September. It expresses a temporary situation. Temporary situation means a situation that won't last long or won't last forever. It will change in a short time, or it will change after a while. Number 3 also expresses a temporary situation. My dad is working in Dubai for a year, so he is not working forever or for a long time or for some unknown time. No, he is working for only a year and then he will be back to his country. Okay, now let's move on to the next exercise. Exercise M. Complete the dialogues with the present continuous. Number 1. A. I'm doing my homework. Letter B. Which subject? You. What do you think? How to put study in the present continuous? Great job. We have to put verb to be and ing at the end of the verb. So here we are going to use are because the subject is you. So the answer would be, which subject are you studying? Number 2. A. Shh, I'm on the phone. B. Who you to? What is the answer? Who are you speaking to? Good job. Number 3. A. Are you busy right now? B. Yes, I have lunch with my family. How to put have in the present continuous? We use the verb to be before it and we add ing to the verb. So the answer would be, yes, I'm having lunch with my family. Number 4. A. Where are you? B. I at the bus stop. How to put sit in the present continuous? It would be, I'm sitting at the bus stop. Number 5. A. Are you working at the moment? B. No, I a break. So how can we put take in the present continuous? Yes, we put verb to be in the present, then add ing to the verb. So the answer would be, no, I am taking a break. And remember, when the verb ends in E, we remove the E before adding the ing. Number 6. A. Why isn't Dad answering his phone? B. He to Greece now. So he is flying. Good job. Number 7. A. Who are you talking to? B. We to our cousin. How to put chat in the present continuous? Yes, it would be are chatting. We are chatting to our cousin or with our cousin. Number 8. A. Why aren't your parents here? B. They well. Here you have to put the verb in the negative form because you are asked to write not feel. So the answer would be, they are not feeling well or they aren't feeling well. Now with exercise in, read the exam close-up, then read the email in the exam task and think about what type of words should go in each gap. As we said earlier that exam close-up book can help us with answering the questions of the exam. So it gives tips on how to answer each different questions in the exam. In today's exam close-up, we are going to learn how to choose the missing words. First, read the text first and try to get the general idea. So before answering, read the whole text, then you can start answering each question one by one. After you have already got the general idea of the text. Next, look at each gap. What type of word do you think goes in the gap? Look at the gap and the words before and after the gap. What word should fit in this gap? Should it be a noun, a pronoun, an adjective, an adverb? What should we put? A preposition? You have to think about this before answering. And the words before and after the gap will help you decide. Third, read again and complete the text. Check your answers make sense. After you finish answering, read again and make sure that your answer makes sense. Number 4, if you're not sure, try to make a guess and answer all questions. If you're not sure about the answer, you can make a guess because it would be better than leaving some questions unanswered. Okay, exercise O. Now complete the exam task. For questions 1 through 8, read the email and choose the best word A, B, or C for each gap. Try to use the tips mentioned in the exam close-up books because it will make it easier for you to choose correctly. Okay, so as you see, this is an email message from Jenny to Granny. Let's go through it. Hi Granny, I'm sorry you're in hospital and I hope you get well soon. I'm enjoying my birthday today. So, what should go in the gap here? What verb to be goes with I? Yes, correct. It's am. I am enjoying my birthday today. And it's present continuous. Right. I am having a great time with my best friend. So, right now. This is one of the time words we use the present with the present continuous. Good job. I, the present from you. Should I say I loving, I love, what do you think? Of course we can't say I love because it loves, we use it in the present simple with he, she, it and singular noun. And we can also use loving because there is no tense that has an ing form only. So the only possible answer is love. I love the present from you. And as we mentioned earlier, we use the abstract verbs in the present tense, in the present simple tense only because we can't put them in the present continuous. Okay, now let's move on to the next sentence. The t-shirt is really cool and I'm wearing it the moment. You remember? Keyword that we use with the present continuous. And I'm wearing it at the moment. Good job, yes. And everyone likes it. The party is starting and my brother's dancing. So the party is starting. What should go we put here? Now, always, often. Always, often are words used with the present simple. So the only possible answer here is now. The party is starting now and my brother's dancing. He's a great dancer. He dances at parties. So if you take a look at the words after the gap, it's dances. It's a verb and it's in the present simple. So what is the right answer here? Should we choose never, not, sorry I skipped one, it's number 6. Should it be hardly ever, never, always? These are all words used with the present simple. But to give the right meaning in this sentence, it should be he always dances at parties. Because he is a great dancer, so he always dances at parties. That is dancing. Is never, not, sometimes. What should we put here? Of course, never. Sometimes are words used with the present simple. and this is a present continuous tense. So Dad is not dancing. He's taking photos. You one now on the mobile. So I'm sending you one now on the mobile. Wish you were here. Love, Jenny. Okay, now my dear students, let's move on to the writing section of Unit 1. Today's writing section is about how to complete a form. Let's start with the learning focus. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to focus on accuracy. As you know, when you're writing a piece of text or when you are filling in a form, it's important to be accurate and give real information about yourself. So, when you complete a form, you often need to give the following information. First, you give your title. Are you Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Miss? Give your first name and your surname. Your surname is the name of the family. Next, you can give your age or your DOB, date of birth. And remember, this information should be accurate and correct. And you also can be asked to give your place of birth, your home address, your phone number, your email address, and your interests or hobbies. You must learn to write this information correctly in English, otherwise you will be misunderstood. Now, let's move to exercise A. Which forms have you completed? Tick through and then discuss questions 1 through 6 with a partner. Exercise question letter A. An application for a passport. If you have already completed such a document, please tick correct. A membership for a club, to enter a competition, to buy something online, an online profile. Please tick all the forms that you have filled in before. And after ticking all the filled out forms, discuss this with your partner. We are going to do it now. So for me, I'll speak for myself. I have filled out an application for a passport before. I have never filled out an application or a membership for a club. I have never filled out an application to enter a competition. I have filled out an application to buy something online, and I have filled out an online profile. Now, let's move to the second part of the question. Which of the forms need your name? I think you should write your name if it's an application for a passport, and all of them. I mean, you need to provide your name for all of these forms. For application for a passport, a membership for a club, to enter a competition, you have to give your name. To buy something online, in an online profile, you have to give your name. Okay, what about date of birth? Should you give your date of birth to all these forms? Actually, no. You have to give your date of birth if you are filling out an application for a passport or a membership for a club or an online profile. What about place of birth? When should you give your place of birth? You should give your place of birth if it's an application for a passport or an online profile. What about a home address? When should you give your home address? You should give your home address if it's an application for a passport or a membership for a club or to enter a competition, or if you want to buy something online. You have to give your home address so that the things you buy will be delivered at your home address. Number 5. Phone number. When should you give your phone number? You should give your phone number. Actually, it could be on all of them if you are filling out an application for a passport, or maybe on an online profile for security, but not on an online profile, because someone may use this piece of information and it will annoy you or will cause annoyance for you. So you can provide your phone number on an online application for a passport. Okay, now my dear students, let's move on to the writing section of Unit 1. Today's writing is about how to complete a form. First, let's start with the learning focus. When you are writing anything or when you are filling out a form of any kind, it's important to be accurate and to use real information about yourself. So, when you complete a form, you often need to give the following information. First, you will be asked to give your title. Are you Mr., Mrs., Ms., or Miss? To give your first name and surname. First name is your name, surname is your family's name. And you also will be asked to give your age or your date of birth. Also, place of birth, home address, phone number, email address, and interest. And you must learn how to write this information correctly, because you will need this in a lot of forms, whether online or physical form. Now let's move on to exercise 8. Which forms have you completed? Tick and then discuss questions 1 through 6 with a partner. So now you have 5 forms, 5 different forms. Which one have you completed or have you filled out before? Have you completed an online application for a passport? If yes, tick this one. Have you completed a membership for a club? Tick this one also if you have done so. Have you completed a form to enter a competition, to buy something online? Have you completed an online profile? Tick whatever form you have completed in the past. Now, let's move to the second part of the question. Which of the forms need your name, date of birth, place of birth, home address, phone number, email address? Let's go one by one. Which of forms need your name? What do you think? Which of the forms that we have just read need your name? Exactly. All of them need your name. You have to provide or give your name in all these forms. And number 2, which of the forms need your date of birth? Maybe an application for a passport, a membership for a club, or an online profile will ask you to give your date of birth. But not all of the forms will ask you to give your date of birth. Number 3, which of the forms need your place of birth? An application for a passport will ask you to give your place of birth. Also, an online profile may ask you to give your place of birth. Number 4, which of the forms need your home address? What do you think? Exactly, an application for a passport, a membership for a club. To enter a competition, you may be asked to give your place, your home address. Also, if you are buying something online, you will need to provide your home address so that things will be delivered at your home address. Next, which of the forms need your phone number? What do you think? Actually, it could be on all of them. On all of these forms, you may be asked to provide your phone number, except on an online profile. You may not be asked to provide your phone number on an online profile. For security reasons, you may not be asked to do this on an online profile. Number 6. Will you be asked to provide your email address on all of these forms? What do you think? I think you could be asked to provide your email address on all of these forms, okay? Because of the necessity to give back or to send you things or to send a follow-up question. So you may be asked to provide your email address on all of these forms, except maybe again on an online profile for some security reasons. Now let's move on to exercise B. Okay, exercise B. Which is the correct way to write the information? Circle A or B for the correct answer. Number 1. In number 1 we have A, B. Which is the correct way to write the information? Letter A. Title, Miss. First name, Smith. Surname, Michael. Letter B. Title, Mr. First name, Michael. Surname, Smith. What do you think? Which one is correct? Exactly. Letter B is correct. Why? Because you can't use Ms. for a male. Ms. is for a female. And we say Ms. if we don't know whether she is married or not. So letter B is correct here. Because the title is Mr. First name Michael. Surname Smith. So it's a male. A name of a male. That's why the second choice, letter B, is correct. Number 2. DOB, 23rd. Actually, it's written 23rd with an ST. November 2000 or November 23rd, 2000. Which one is correct? Excellent. Letter B. Why? Because it's 23rd, not 23 ST. We put ST after 21st with any number that has 1 first or 21st, 31st, and so on. But here it's 23rd. We write the last two letters in the ordinal number. Number 3, letter A, home address 10 Main Street, Clayton, or letter B, home address Street, Main 10, Clayton. What do you think? Letter A is correct. Why? Because we should start with the number of the street and then the name of the district, or after that we can provide the name of the city. So it's letter A, home address 10 Main Street, Clayton. Number 4, letter A, landline 03 5432637, mobile 6977878903. Letter B, landline 6977878903. Sometimes we say 03. Mobile 03 543 2637. What do you think? Which one is correct? Yes, letter A is correct. Why? Because if it's a mobile phone, you don't provide a code. But if it's a landline, you must provide the code of the city, which is in this case 03. Okay, number 5, letter A, signature M. Smith, or letter B, signature M. Smith, and it's written in handwriting. Excellent. Letter B is correct. Why? Because your signature should be handwritten. It shouldn't be printed, right? It should be handwritten using your own handwriting. Now let's move on to exercise C. Answer these questions with a partner. Number 1. Which title shows that a woman is married and which shows that she is unmarried? Mrs. MRS shows that a woman is married. Miss MISS shows that a woman is unmarried. Now, number 2. What title can a woman use if she doesn't want to show whether she's married or not? Do you know the answer? Exactly, it's Ms. MS, and we pronounce it Ms. MS is a title can be used by women if they don't want to say whether they are married or not. Number 3, if your full name is Jason Ryan Reynolds, what is your surname? Reynolds. Excellent. Why? Because surname is the family's name. So Jason is your first, Ryan is your middle, and Reynolds is your surname or the family name. Number 4, in UK addresses, what comes first? The name of the road, street, or the house number? Exactly, the house number should go first. After that, you write the name of the road or the street. Now, let's move on to exercise D. Read the writing task and answer the questions. You want to order a monthly magazine. Complete the form. So, what is this? This is an online form, right? And in this online form, you have to complete, you want to order a monthly magazine. In order to order a monthly magazine, you have to complete the form, okay? On the form, write your personal information correctly. Say which magazine you want. Ask a question about the price, okay? Now, let's do the task on this writing. Let's do the questions on this writing task. Number 1, what do you have to write? If you want to order a monthly magazine, what do you have to write? Okay, correct. You have to write your personal information. Number 2, why are you writing? Why are you writing this form? Exactly, you are writing this form to order a monthly magazine. Number 3, what information do you need? You need to ask about the price. You need information about the price. That's it. Let's move on to the next exercise. Okay, now dear students, with exercise D, which is the correct way to write the information? Circle A or B for the correct answer. Number 1, as you see in number 1, you have A, B. Go through the details of each choice and try to make a guess. Which one is correct? Excellent. Letter B is correct. Why? Because in the title it's written Mr. and first name Michael, surname Smith. So it's a male name, and with male we use Mr. As for letter A, in the title it's written Ms. And Ms is a title we use with women, whether they are married or unmarried. Okay, now let's move on to number 2. ADOB 23ST November 2000. Letter B, DOB November 23rd 2000. Which one is correct? This one is pretty easy. Yes, letter B is correct. Why? Because it's November 23rd. So the ordinal number ends in RD. It's 23rd. And you write the last two letters in the ordinal number when you are writing a date. But the first one is totally wrong. We use ST with first when it's 21st or when it's the first of whatever month. So letter B is correct. Number 3, we have A and B. A, home address 10 Main Street, Clayton. Letter B, home address Street Main 10, Clayton. Which one is correct? Exactly. Letter E is correct. Why? Because in the UK addresses, we start with the house number. So first you write the house number. After that you write the name of the street or road. Then you write the name of the city. So home number or house number, name of the street, then the city. Number 4, A, landline and mobile, as you can see. Letter B, we have also the landline and the mobile, but the details are different. So which one is correct? Great job. Letter A is correct. Why? Because when we are writing our landline phone, you must start with the area code. As you see, when you give your landline number, you start with the area code. Can you see it? It's 03 and it's written between brackets. So when you write your landline, you start with the area code, then the number. But when you write your mobile phone number, you just write the number, except if you are writing, if you're writing this mobile number for international calls, then you will have to provide a code for international calls. But other than this, when you write a landline, you start with the area code. When you are writing your mobile phone number, you don't write any codes, you just write the number. So letter A is correct. Number 5, signature M.Smith. Letter B, signature M.Smith. But the first one is typed, the second one is handwritten. Which one is correct? Exactly, letter B is correct. Why? Because you should write your signature. You shouldn't type your signature. Your signature should be handwritten, not typed. Now let's move on to exercise C. Answer these questions with a partner. Number 1, which title shows that a woman is married and which shows that she is unmarried? If a woman is married, we use Mrs. MRS. If a woman is unmarried, we use Miss MISS. Number 2, what title can a woman use if she doesn't want to show whether she's married or not? Exactly, Ms. MS, and we pronounce it Ms. We pronounce it Ms. So if there is a woman who doesn't like to say whether she's married or unmarried, she would use this title, Ms. MS. Number 3, if your full name is Jason Ryan Reynolds, what is your surname? Excellent, it's Reynolds. Why? Because Jason is your first name, Ryan is your middle name, and Reynolds, which is your last name, is your surname, which means your family name. Number 4. In UK addresses, what comes first? The name of the road or street or the house number? Correct. You should start with your house number, then the name of the street or road. After that, you can write the name of the city. Exercise D. Read the writing task and answer the question. You want to order a monthly magazine. Complete the form. First bullet point, write your personal information correctly. Say which magazine you want. Third point, ask a question about the price. Now, after reading the task, let's answer the question. Number 1, what do you have to write? Exactly, you have to write your personal information. Number 2, why are you writing? Yes, it's written in the first line. You want to order a monthly magazine. So, why are you writing? To order a monthly magazine. Number 3, what information do you need? It's written in the last point. You need information about the price. Good job. Okay. Exercise E, read the example form. What does Christine want to know? As you can see, this is a form to buy something online. Here, Christine wants to order a magazine. If you go through the information written in the form, you will find out that Christine wants to know if there is a discount for students or not. It's written in the last line in the form. Your question here, can you see this part? Your question here, and she wrote, is there a discount for students? So, what does Christine want to know? She wants to know if there is a discount for students or not. Now, let's move on to exercise F. Read the form again. Which magazine do you think Christine wants? Take a minute to read the form and then try to answer this question. So, which magazine do you think Christine wants? Or which magazine does Christine or would Christine be interested in? Exactly. She is interested in sporty, your pet, and video games now magazines. Why did we choose these magazines? Because as you see in her interests, she wrote, I like doing sport, especially playing tennis and football. I also enjoy playing football games on my computer. I love spending time with my pet snake, Oscar. So she is interested in sports, she is interested in pets, she is interested in video games. That's all. Let's move on to the next exercise. In the writing section, you will find a box for useful expressions. This will help you with your writing. Today's useful expressions are about how to express your life. If you are writing about your interests or your hobbies, you can use these expressions. Expressions like I like, and don't forget to follow it with a gerund. I enjoy, I love, and all these verbs are followed by a gerund. You can also use I'm interested in or I like, because, and so on. And try to write the reasons or to justify why you like a certain thing and not another one. Now let's move to the exam process. Understanding and completing form. When you are completing a form, it's important to understand each and every point you are asked to provide. First point, check you understand what each part means. It's important to understand what each part means so that you can provide or give the right information. Point 2. Make sure you write the correct information in each part. Of course, you should provide correct information. Otherwise, you will not get what you are asking for. Number 3. Make sure your handwriting is clear. If you are writing the form, you should try to write as clear as possible so that you can avoid misunderstanding or confusion. Number 4. Use a variety of expressions to talk about your interests. Don't just say I like. It's better to use different expressions so that the person on the other side will know or will understand what you're talking about or what your interests are, and of course give you whatever you are asking for. Now, exercise 8. Complete the exam task. Use the useful expressions to help you. Let's move on to exercise 8 to complete the form using the useful expressions we have just read. Exam task. You want to enter a competition, complete the form. On the form, you must write your personal information correctly, choose the prize you want, answer a question to win a prize. Okay, dear students, now we have a form to enter a competition. I have provided you with suggested answers. I hope you can do the same in your notebook or in your own book, and please provide your personal information and all the real answers that you would write in a real competition form. Now you can take a look at my suggested answers, and as I said earlier, you write your own answers.